Hello everybody, Water here. Welcome to episode 15 of Oxygen Include Let's Play series with the Space Out DLC. In the previous episode, we finished building our new professional electrolyzer setup and 9-headed Hydra, and now it's finally time to properly integrate it into our existing infrastructure. So let's jump back into our colony and just do that. And we're back at our Hydra. Now the first thing I need to do is actually hooking it up to a water supply via the pipes here at the bottom. Fortunately enough, that is not far to the right here, in the form of this infinite storage here, which currently contains around somewhere around 200 tons of water, which is quite a lot and should be sufficient for a good while. So let's make a pipe over to our Hydra. So I'm just going to go with the bridge, then 2 bridges here, then all the way over to our Hydra, connecting to our existing pipe. Then I need to disconnect here and here, so those can run empty. Then I can disconnect there. I'm also snipping it off over there for a valve I'm going to add here to avoid a little issue I had at the earlier episode, where I used up too much water and this one here ran dry. And with this set to 8 kilograms per second, I should be able to avoid that little issue. And here comes the water. So with that now filling our Hydra, we need to supply it with some more power to run all of the electrolyzers. So I'm just going to add a few more coal generators, hook them up to a smart battery, so I can actually connect them with some automation wire and have them only run when power is required. With a proper power supply now in place, let's have a look at the electrolyzers, and to be more precise, at the air channels next to them. So what I'm looking for is, when you have an electrolyzer, you want to have in those two tiles here hydrogen and oxygen respectively, like here or like here. But as you can see here, this one here still has oxygen in both, so this one here I can start up, but the other two, so let's get those rolling. And you can already see how this is working. So the gases are produced in this corner here, and the water will immediately try to displace it again, which triggers some displacement rules, and those mean that the gases will first try to look for the same element in the vicinity independent of the pressure. And in this situation here, it can go either to the left if it's hydrogen or to the top right if it's oxygen, and that way you get infinite pressure and a proper gas separation without having to add any kind of filter. So that's how this system here works. And now I'm waiting until I have a bit more pressure, and then I can start activating more of those here. But we are able to print something potentially, so let's have a look. I'm not looking for any dupes right now, so let's go with this Nessie suit, or why not. And yeah, so these are now producing hydrogen. As you can see, in just a moment I can start this one here up and this one here up, and then everything should go even faster. But we are not done with hooking this up. So what I want to do next is actually putting this pipe here just over until we are in the inside here, because if you look in here, I can just move this over to the side here. I'll have to get in there for a moment, but at this point in time it's not an issue, since I still need to fill this with hydrogen anyway, so a bit of carbon dioxide is not an issue. It will just float to the bottom anyway. But as I said, I'm just going to add those pipes here, and then I am just going to make this pipe here part of a bigger picture, just going straight up. That way this is a bit more hidden, and I think it looks better. So then this can go straight down for now. And I obviously need some more bridges here, just like so. And that's looking much cleaner already. So now let's have a quick look at the current state of the electrolyzers here. Yeah, I can now start this one here up, and this one here, and also this one. And this one here just needs a tiny bit more hydrogen in there. So let's have Look if we can get this started right now. 2. Yeah, now we can also start this one here up. And now I'm getting a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen going up here, slowly but surely. I might actually want to increase the pressure here, so when I have this mixture going on, there might be a case where I'm sucking in a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen, and that would destroy the thermal nullifier up there. So that's one issue. I also have an overloading issue. Okay, now I'm running too much on the same wire, so let's just run this with one cool generator. That should avoid that issue. Yeah. So, what can I do next? Well, I can connect the natural gas geyser over there to put off the gas as well. I can also clean up this pipe here going straight down. So I can disconnect it here and then clean out this gas storage here without any issue. With this pipe in place, I don't need this pipe anymore. So let's also get rid of this one here. At least up to here. And to clean this out, yeah, I need to remove the pipe here. And then just connect it here. And then I can, once this is empty, also remove this pipe right there. And a few cycles later, I not only have removed this unnecessary pipe here, but also got rid of all of this storage down here by now. Also, nice to look at it. You can see we have pretty much all of the oxygen displaced already, except for some minute amounts down here. But we are already leaking some hydrogen at the bottom here. So let me quickly add a mechanized airlock down here, which I will connect to a switch. And that way I can wait until some hydrogen has collected down here, then open this, let it out, and then at some point I will be able to close this properly. So, also, with all of the hydrogen, now the hydrogen generators are all filled up. So I can remove this here at the top. And now it's finally time to hook up the Hydra to the power grid. But for that, I actually need to separate the power grid into two. One power grid will be all of the deodorizers and the tamers and the various pumps. And the rest is the ranches and farms and the core of my base. So let's quickly go through this. This is connected to over here. Let's actually go higher with the priority so all of this is built. And let's stop so we are not running into any issues. So this I will reconnect later on, so this can be kept as is. But the incubators need to go from this line at least. So that's this part done. Now I need the connection to over here, and I'll just connect this at the top there. Then let's go back into the tool menu. So let's have a look. This one here I will leave as is. Similarly here and here, but here I need to disconnect here and here. I also need to disconnect those wrenches here. Then further down, this one here I'll leave. Similarly to this one there. This is all temporary. Yep, that's looking good. Then we have still on this side here. Yeah, let's connect this over here. And let's have a look if we need to disconnect anything at the top there. No, this one here I'll leave. I need to disconnect this one here. I also need to, yeah, this can be kept. So that's the first grid more or less figured out. Although it might be a good idea to put the sieve on that grid too. Then I can clean out this one here and this one here. And now I need to connect the grids, or the minor grids here. So one over there. And you know what? I'm just going to connect it over here. And then I just need to get rid of the bridge here. Yeah, that is looking much better already. Now obviously I need to connect this still to the Hydra. And the two wires here are this wire here and this wire here. So the first one I will just go straight down and then over. And the third one goes straight over like so. Although I could also go like this here. And then, obviously not like that. Then I need to go down, and if I remember correctly, yeah, I can just use a conductive bridge here and connect it like that. Now, obviously, I need to get in there, so let's make sure my tubes can do that. And before I forget it, I already noticed that I forgot to place automation here and here, which I might want to do for one step in just a bit. But for now, I need to wait until my power grid is properly upgraded. Now with the Hydra part of the power grid, we can get rid of these batteries here, since they are no longer required. Similarly, those manual generators. Now it's time to talk about the oxygen pipes. So, and the first thing I would like to do is actually turn off this whole electrolyzer here, since we now have our Hydra. So I'm connecting here and disconnecting here. So even if this one here runs out of power, the Hydra still supplies power for the sieve and its own water supply here. Then let's go in the pipes and let's disconnect the water here. So this can all now run empty. Now for the oxygen pipes, I'm just going to get rid of all of this here. And then I'm just going to run the pipe down here, over there, and in here. Yeah, that should do the trick. And that way, this one here will supply those checkpoints here. And I should be able to remove this oxygen after a couple cycles. So I also need to obviously connect the output of the Hydra. And before that, I also need to separate this here into two again. So I will have to separate this here. Then have one wire going, or one pipe going straight up. I can just disconnect it here. Yeah, that looks good. And then just going up here for now with a bridge over there. And now over here, I need first something about the hydrogen. I'm not sure where I want to build my rocket silos later on, so I'll just go straight up for now with the hydrogen. And then for now, yeah, for oxygen should be enough for right now. Oh, by far enough. So then let's go over. This one here will be used later on in this area here. This one here will go straight down. This one here will go in the second pipe there. And the last one will go for now straight up. And this will be used for an observatory later on, I suspect. And here comes the oxygen. So with survival of our base now ensured, we can finally get rid of the old Rodriguez here. So let's just clean up this whole system here, with the exception of the liquid storage in the sea for obvious reasons. And a few cycles later, this is now all removed again. Next upgrade is upgrading those ladders here to plastic, since I have a decent amount of that and the plastic ladders give my tubes a bit of a bonus to movement speed. So I'm just going to very quickly upgrade all of the ladders, at least in those central areas here. And also in the living quarters. Just like so. And also here and there. Just making sure my tubes get around a bit faster. So that's the last one for now. Although I might also, when I'm here, upgrade this one here. So next up is a plastic melter, which I want to build here. And yeah, at this temperature I can go with gold actually. So I'm just going to place a gold tile here for heat transfer. Then I need a conveyor bridge. A conveyor area here, one over there, then a conveyor loader, which also needs some power. Like so, and since I will produce a decent amount, I'm just going to move this one down, so I get a bit more space once I remove those two tiles there. On second thought, I will make a little modification to this here. So first I'm going to connect this here with some more rails, and then I'm putting one more conveyor bridge here and disconnecting there. That way I will put in some pieces of plastic which will rotate around and then get heated up through those metal tiles here. That should ensure a higher throughput. Also, what I can do is put in some plastic inside of this one here with manual use and highest priority. I should make sure that the tube comes by pretty soon and does just that. The next thing to keep in mind is I still have some igneous rock in here, which is rather hot and stores a lot of heat I would like to use for melting plastic. So I'll have to consolidate this a bit more. So I'm just going to add a few tiles here. That should piece by piece push this over. And then I can get in here through this liquid dock I already prepared. And just dig through here and then move these parts here manually on top. Just like this here. And yeah, now I have plastic in there. And once this is full, I can disallow the manual use again. So anyway, now I can get rid of this piece here and work my way over until all of this here is moved over. Just like this here. So now with this providing some more heat for the system to work a bit longer, the whole system is now running. As you can see, there are basically two pieces of plastic, so 40 kilograms in total, that are rotating around and being heated up in those metal tiles, which already have produced almost half a ton of liquid Naphta down here. So very, very nice indeed. Now this part here I can simplify a bit. So let's put one tile here. And then let's get rid of this one here so it can be built. That should make this part here available. And the same is true for this one down there, although here I should use an insulated tile. And that way I can work my way down until I have this here insulated, this here insulated, and then I have a look at the inside here. Now before I start digging into this center part here, since it's rather hot, I would like to have all my tubes in some atmosuits, which fortunately enough I can do rather easily since it's just about to get night. So I'm going to activate in those two checkpoints here. And I have to deactivate all the other checkpoints, so my tubes will remain inside of their respective atmosuits. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. And once all my tubes are in an atmosuit, I can start working on digging into this area down here. And here comes Ruby, the last tube to be put into an atmosuit. So now all 10 atmosuits are in use, which means I can now start actually digging into this part here. Not the igneous rock, just the center part here, since I still need all of this heat here. Although, yeah, I can do with just another ton of plastic while I'm at it. But as I said, now it's time to start digging into this rather hot core here. And this right here is why I had to put my tubes into an atmosuit, since as you can see, it's very hot. There is even a little bit of steam around currently. So, next up, let's make sure those two here are getting excavated by my deco guy, Ashkan. And once he's done, I can remove those two fossils here to reduce the heat contained in them by half. So, we are also getting quite a decent amount of liquid Naphta now in here. So, yeah, let's make sure we can get this out properly. So for that, I'm going to get rid of the pitcher pump and replacing it with a power pump here on the side. Although I'm not yet connecting it to the pipe, since I don't want to output it as a coolant right now, or use it as a coolant for my steel production. So then liquid pump out of steel, since this is rather hot over here. And now I can start excavating this part here. It's looking very good already. And then I can start mopping and cleaning up all of this here, so it's not just lying around. The liquid Naphta we don't have any place to put right now, so yeah, this is now all getting cleaned up. And next up on the agenda is getting more steel, because I'm rather low and I definitely need more of that. So, but first I want to make sure that nothing that I'm using as a coolant will actually get put into the Hydra in the end, since I can't guarantee right now that it will only be polluted water and water inside of that pipe, because we already have some salt water and some Naphta down here, so that could cause some issues, and I don't want to have to repair my Hydra. So anyway, let's get some steel, and I think I'm going for, yeah, let's make 9 tons. That should be well enough. We also have the fossil now excavated, as I already said, so strange remains were found, and there is still more lying around, as we already figured out in a previous episode. Next up, let's have a look at our living quarters here. We still have this cooling loop, which was originally meant to cool down the air for the bluff briars to actually create nature reserves here. But since we now have an actual cooling loop for our base, I don't need this anymore. So let me very quickly get rid of this connection, and once this here is completely emptied out, I can just get rid of all of those pipes here. And voila. So now with that out of the way, we can start working on replacing this setup here with a more elaborate setup over here. The first thing I would like to do is obviously getting rid of these parts here, since they are obviously no longer needed. And then I need to, I actually need a power supply for that. So I'm going to need a bit here, one there, one there, one there. I am also going to have to put in a bridge right here. And I'll also have to change the wiring a tiny bit. So let's do it like this. This is the cheaper option. And then just all the way down there. And since I don't like it when it looks different in different parts of my base, I'm just going to make the change at the top too. Now I can grab another transit tube and place it right here, and essentially just copy the setup from the top here. So let's just make sure this is properly connected. Then additionally I have a door to the side and at the bottom there. And now I can just put in the rest of the floors. And at the back here, the wall I leave open for now, so my tubes can get through here. Then let's go a bit closer. And in plumbing, I now need the liquid valve meter. Like so. Then next to them, I need switches. Each has their own connected. Now for power, I need to run a power wire through here, so I don't need the connection in the middle there. Also up there is some power required. Now next I need a 4-wide room with insulated tiles on the side there. And then normal tiles again on top, like so. Then 2 more tiles there. Oh, this is not correct. Oh, this needs to be 5-wide. My mistake. So. Then let's go again. As I said, the back wall is insulated tiles. Then I have 2 insulated tiles here. This one here needs to be removed. And this one here, come on, needs to go, come on, to the very bottom there. Now once this is out of the way, I can place a pitcher pump in here, just like that. I also need some liquid vents in this corner here. Then next to them I need hydro sensors. Come on, let's make them out of gold. Then next to those I need some OR gates. Another OR gate at the top here. On top of that a NOT gate, and then where is it? I need a duplicant sensor right here. Now let's connect everything up. Those go just straight over. This one here goes to this OR gate. This one here goes over there. This one goes to the NOT gate. And then this goes down. And this one here goes also into this. So, and that way, if any of those here is open, this door is forced closed. Now let's have a look at this future storage area here. The first I need is a floor down here. And then on top of that, insulated tiles. Similarly, at the top, I have insulated tiles followed by normal tiles all the way to the end there. Now I can grab some manual airlocks and place one here, then every other one, and below, then below in the middles, and then just following the pattern. Then I can grab some normal tiles, place two here, one there, and then one down there, and in those corners here. Except I need to keep this open. Then I can also fill in the parts here. So that's the basic pattern done. Now let's put in some liquid pumps out of gold, since I don't need steel. On top of them I need the vents. Then on the side here I need some valves. And those need to be connected. The first one goes straight over, also a pipe over there. And now let's have a look. This one here goes one over. Then I need a bridge here. From the bridge into this one here, then one up. Then one down, so one over, and then all the way to the outside. And here I can just put a bridge on top. Then, oh, this was actually a mistake. This one here needs to go up and then over. So that looks better. So next one is this one here. Goes straight down and then with a bridge up. And the bridge needs to go up. And then I need, let's have a look, another bridge right here, which connects to this pipe over there. And then over here I go like over, then up, then over, and then I have another bridge on top. So that's the first two done. Now I need, for the third, I need to go down, then over, again a bridge. This time it's going down. Then I go over here with a bridge on top of that. I need a couple bridges until it pipes until it connects with over there. Then I go all the way over there and just add another bridge on top. And then the last one goes all the way over here, then down, then over here, all the way over until it reaches that point. This time the bridge goes down. I also need another, this can be a normal pipe, another point over there with a bridge on top, then a dot there, and then I go over and over like this here. Now I can go a bit more to the left and build my mechanical filters. So similar what I did here with gases, I'm now going to do with liquid pipes. So for that I'm first going to need some liquid bridges to here and here and here. And this one here is a tiny bit different. Then I need liquid pipes first like so. And here just for the top one. And the outputs are connected and are the actual outputs or inputs for this circuit over here, except for this one here, which goes a tiny bit different and downwards. Those now can be connected. This one here goes straight down, then one over, and then from here on down like so. I need to also get rid of this ladder here while I'm there, but I'm not done yet with this part. So obviously I need some liquid valves and they need to be around like so. Then again liquid bridges, so, and then I need to connect them like so, and this needs to be connected like this here in a big row. So, and then at the top here I'm just for now putting in a liquid reservoir as a bit of an overflow. And I decided to change the path of this pipe a tiny bit so everything fits together a bit nicer. I also already set in the valves here to 0.1 grams per second, so that's also already out of the way. And now I can put in the power from the top here, and I'm going straight down since there will be another instance of quadruple storage a bit further down later on. So now in this corner here, I need again another valve going up, and then a liquid shut-off going down. Those need to be connected like this here, and I need some automation to turn it on permanently. I also need some power for it, since it's just a bit off of the wire. Then for down here, I need a couple liquid reservoirs. I start at the middle of this door up there and go with 5 of those in total. This will be my decontamination chamber. They need to be connected with pipes. Just like that. And put into a little box out of insulated tiles. And since I need to get in there, I would like to add a liquid lock there. So let's grab pedestal for some Naphta later on. And I also will have to pump this out. So let's temporarily put a... This doesn't really need to be made out of steel. Normal materials will do just as well. So let's pump this out. And then later on I can fill this with the proper gas, which in this case is chlorine. So, but I'm not entirely done yet. I need first of all a bridge, which goes here. No, not like that. Actually one over here. Then one up, which should connect nicely to the top there. I think I already placed that. Then this one here goes over, down, and then into this liquid reservoir here. And at the other end, it just loops back into those two bridges there. Now, while I'm waiting for this to be evacuated, I can build a temporary setup here to prime this with the correct liquids. So first I'm going to add a few tiles here, so I can put in a liquid pump and a bottle end here to the side. Then I'm just going to hook this up. This is some power. And then I can prime this already with the correct liquids, and I can also close this right now. So let's just put in those tiles, and there we go. So now this is all completely built. We have our chlorine in there, and we are prepared to prime our filters. But that's something for the next episode, since it's getting a bit late. But before I stop with this episode, there is one last thing I would like to do, and that is getting at least one achievement. Now, the one I was aiming for with the atmosuits didn't work out this episode. I will have to work on this a bit later. But I noticed that I have actually 8 special suits lying around, and that is all I need for one more achievement, which we will get by just putting in a little bit of work here. So let me very quickly distribute those to our various dupes. And this is the last one. So now we have our achievement for the day, which is the and nowhere to go achievement. Have 8 duplicants via a non-default clothing simultaneously. As I said, I had just enough lying around. And yeah, as I said, with that we are at the end of this episode, in which we managed quite a bit. We finally started up our Hydra and also hooked it up to the various infrastructures, from the power grid to the water supply, and finally the various gas pipes. We also started working on cleaning up our base a bit more, did a little bit of work down here, and finally built our quadruple infinite liquid storage here, which we will continue building on next episode. And that brings us to the actual end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and comment if you did so. It really helps with the algorithm. Independent of that, I wish you a nice day, and well, see ya!